We're at the University of Georgia's Attapulgis Research and Education Center, and we're looking at a system design for both unleaded and diesel fuel, specifically about capacity and different types of operations that you may have. We have decided that we needed underground storage tanks to hold a significant amount of fuel for farm operations. Also, this is in a rural area, and because of the inability to get fuel quickly from local area stations, this was a decision that the farm manager had to make to put underground storage tanks in. I'd like to introduce you to Billy Mills. He's the farm superintendent here. Billy, can you explain to me a little bit about your operation before you had the decision to put the underground storage tanks in?
Well, what we had to do here is we had a system up here of above ground tanks. And with our tanks then, we could only get just a certain amount brought out at one time, and it was an amount that we really wasn't able to operate the farm with. So to go with this new suction type system, an underground tank, it would enable us to get more fuel out here at the farm to run the machinery and actually the pivots that we run out.
Right, so when you are able to order larger amounts of fuel, you actually get better pricing than having to be subject to several times a month. If you can get a larger amount at one time, prices are fixed better and makes it easier for your operation.
Absolutely, Ted. And also, sometimes our fuel would be coming from further away than any local areas right around here, and it would absolutely affect the price.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and you said you do have a suction system here. There's some significant differences about your componentry. Let's take a look inside.
Sure.
In a suction system, it's pretty obvious or pretty evident that there are no external pumps inside of the sump area on top of the tank. What a suction system does is it has a submersible pump, and it actually pulls fuel from the dispenser. The dispensers in this case are called pumps themselves. So the pumps will pull fuel from the tank through the product lines and going into the pump area itself. What we have also is a tank probe. And in this particular case, because of the smaller diameter, smaller capacity of this tank, we actually have the interstitial sensor that's internal to the sump rather than external on the tank pad. These are 1,000-gallon farm tanks, and a 1,000-gallon tank doesn't have a profile large enough to put the sensors external to the tank pad itself. Let's look at the dispenser, Billy, and we'll show you some differences of both internal and external to what we're doing here. Get the other side. Probably the main difference in a suction system, again, dispensers on pressurized systems are actually receiving fuel from the pump that's on top of the tank. A suction system, safe suction or European suction, also as they're referred to, have a pump internal to the dispenser. This pump is what is pulling the fuel from the tank through the dispenser and the meters, and then nozzling out the nozzles and hoses here on this dispenser. As you also see, we have, again, check valves. In case the dispenser is knocked off its position here on the island, it shuts off the flow of fuel. This pump would not be able to suck fuel anywhere through the product line. There is, again, a sump underneath the dispenser that would capture any fuel that would break, if any of these components would break and leak fuel into here. And the primary difference for your suction system not only is the safety issue, but what happens to any of this fuel in this area will actually flow back down into the sump. That's the part about the suction. Once the suction is stopped, anything that's in the product line drains backwards by gravity towards the pump. What are some of the other safety features that you have with underground systems?
I was going to mention that too, Ted. That is one of the main reasons I really needed a system like this up here, because of what I was talking about earlier. We had the above ground tanks, and any type of leakage or anything like that, we would have to come and make sure, try to get there before anything would happen. This way we're safe. Everything goes back in the tank. it's just one of those things that really helps us out here because we've got so much going on here that doesn't need to be an issue.
Okay, and you're tied to electronic sensors like most of our facilities are. You have sump sensors, you have tank probes, so those types of things that you monitor on the inside, is that correct?
Absolutely. Every time we go in there, we can tell exactly what's going on with these systems, if there is a leak, and actually helps us to even figure out how much we need to order for fuel, everything like that.
Well, there's some new training requirements that are available now and required by the new rules and regulations. What do you do with your operators here at the farm?
Well, what we do is there's 2 guys here that's usually attending the training sessions, and of course myself when I can, and they follow up on all training procedures, bring it back in, and actually show everyone else here that's operating or even gets diesel or gas out of the tanks.
So you feel that your decisions to put underground storage tank at larger capacity really helped your operation become more efficient?
Absolutely, Ted. If without this system here, I could be down with the irrigations. I could be waiting on fuel to come here, which would compromise thousands of dollars worth of research here.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much.